What's up, Skullbells TV? If you want a thicker back, then listen up. Also, if you are a power lifter or someone that just loves to bench press, then watch your numbers go up there too. I'm not even kidding, because I am certainly among the many strength coaches and physical therapists who agree that these muscles that we're working today are essential to avoid muscle imbalances that will make your workouts unpleasant and unproductive. We are building the rhomboids, the mid traps, and the low traps with what I call dumbbell bent over shrugs. These muscles all get worked with compound lifts such as deadlifts and T-bar rows, but today we're using one arm at a time to really isolate the mid-upper back. This is crucial for men's and women's bodybuilding athletes, especially on the back double biceps pose. Training unilaterally, that is one arm at a time, will work these muscles through a deeper range of motion than what you can accomplish with both arms at the same time. These are really similar to Meadows rows too. Meadows rows incorporate more muscles such as the rear deltoids and the biceps to a smaller degree. So your entire goal here is to get your mind deep inside the muscle that you are working, and we'll cover how to do that in a second. You don't need any gear, however, I highly recommend at least having wrist wraps, because this will further disengage your forearms and your biceps to keep the emphasis on the traps and rhomboids, which is where we want it. You might be thinking, traps, aren't those the muscles on my neck? Those are your upper traps. The trapezius is actually a large group of muscles that goes as high as the base of your skull and as low as your spinal erectors between your lats. Your upper traps, those are used for exercises like standing shrugs, farmer walks, farmer carries. Lower traps, that's pretty much all back movements to some degree, especially anything to where you're bent over horizontally. The fibers of the mid-trapezius pull the scapula, that is your shoulder blades, in toward the spine, an action called scapular retraction. They're aided by the rhomboids, which lie underneath the trapezius and descends diagonally from the thoracic vertebrae. Athletes that have been training these muscles for some time develop a deep groove along the spine. It's actually really cool, especially when you get shredded, it looks like a canyon. For weight selection, 80 pounds is perfect for me. This exercise should probably be placed in most cases towards the end of your back day after you've done your compound lifts, depending on what your goals and genetics are. Therefore, you don't need to go crazy on your warm-up for this. So my warm-up was 50 pounds for 10 really slow, focused reps. Start light here, because if you've never done these before, just doing the movement with perfect form will probably be enough for your rhomboids to remind you the next day that yesterday was back day. All right, so your form. So your back should be roughly parallel to the bench. Use an overhand grip. Start with an overhand grip, but let your wrist twist to where it feels the most natural. With barbell exercises, you're always locked into either a fully pronated or a fully supinated grip, or maybe a neutral grip depending on the bar that you have access to. But as long as you're using a dumbbell, my advice is to take advantage of the opportunity to find the wrist position that best targets your rhomboids and lower to mid traps. So you're going to start by relaxing your shoulder blades as far as you can. You want to think hard about what your shoulder blades look like and how the rhomboids and traps retract your shoulder blades. Keeping your arms straight or even just slightly bent, pull your shoulder blade back as far as you can, and then pause for a quick second to hold the contracted position and encourage blood flow to the targeted muscles before slowly lowering the dumbbell to the starting position. Always start with your weak arm first. Total transparency here, I should have started with my right arm. For the first time in my life, my right lat, my right bicep, even my right leg are all weaker than the left side of my body. So I was following my own advice for so long, now I have the opposite problem. So you want to make sure that you perform the same number of reps on each arm unless you have a muscle imbalance. In that case, you can either perform more reps on your weak arm or do what I did this morning, which was simply holding the last rep noticeably longer on my right side, which was my weak side. So I want to hold it longer on my right side than on my left side. Pay careful attention to your strength and muscle growth on each side of your back, and be sure to always train accordingly. All right, that's it. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Share this with someone who either needs a bigger back or does too much bench press. I know a lot of people like that. You probably do too. For more on why we don't like the bench press, check out session number 18 of our award-winning podcast, Carnivore Coaches Corner. We are now ranked number 1 in the UK for bodybuilding podcasts. Thanks to all who are listening and sharing. You can support the podcast and our YouTube channel by making any purchase from supersetyourlife.com. We appreciate everything, where we have all of your natural sea salts, workout merchandise, custom cable attachments, keto bricks, and a whole lot more. God bless, and we'll catch you on the next video.